And my distinguished colleagues, I just have one question to ask on this budget. And that question is from page 3 of the leader's submission here, where he says in the second paragraph that the total fiscal operations of the federal government will result in a deficit of 6.26 trillion, representing 3.39% of our estimated GDP, which is above the 3% threshold set by the Fiscal Responsibility Act. How do you punish anybody who breaks the law? When a government breaks its own law of 3% and is moving beyond that, what do you do? Maybe the leader will tell us what to do later. Leader, you have also talked about the 3 options. The first option is increasing taxes, and I agree with you that the taxes should not be on our poor citizens, but we can widen the tax net. That is what is supposed to be done. Not to make excuses for government to say we can't. We can widen the tax net, and that is what I suppose that we ought to do. The second option about cutting expenditure. I do not think that the problem is the expenditure that goes to supporting our people. I think the expenditure is that government itself, 40% of what we spend today on overhead can be cut because they go to no moment at all. Nigeria is a poor country. We have no business having 7 aircrafts that are servicing people in this place when the United Kingdom itself does not even have an aircraft for its own government. So we ought to be able to be very creative in making sure that we know how to cut expenditure. I agree that borrowing, just like you said, is a very difficult thing for us today. But then, just like every other person has said, how do we borrow everything that we earn? Because the economic team of Mr. President has said that we are borrowing 97.7% of what we earn. That means that it leaves us with just 2% for every other thing, which now means that we have to contribute borrowing even to fund ourselves. So we must have to think through this borrowing spree and see how we can reduce it as we go ahead. And Mr. President, we have also looked at the capital expenditure, and part of what we see as the capital expenditure is not being done by the finance, the fiscal side. The monetary policy of the government, they are doing anchor borrower, they are doing fertilizer production, they are doing infrastructure from the central bank. That is wrong. That is not the way an economy is run. The central bank should focus only on its core mandate, which is managing our monetary policy. But getting involved in so many of all these things, as good as they may be, that's a wrong way to run an economy. And with these few words, Mr. President, I want to support the leader in this very poorly produced work.
Well, thank you very much. Distinguished colleagues.